I believe that challenges are the simplest way, simple, to start or grow any business anywhere by profitably being able to convert cold prospects into enthusiastic paying clients in 5 days or less. Yes, guys, you heard that right. Okay. And every single word there in bold is in bold and highlighted for a reason. Most things I see today are far too complicated. So the reason why you may have stumbled and tripped and failed at launching your business, growing your business, making money online, I can tell you why. Too complicated. And if you can't make your first dollar, you're never going to make your $1 million. So I believe this framework I'm going to show you is the best way, the simplest way, easiest, quickest path to start, earn your first dollar or your millionth dollar in any business, any niche, anywhere, and take completely cold prospects, people that don't know you from Adam, and have them enthusiastically working with you, sending you money, asking to, taking your offers in 5 days or less. So let's go. All right. So by the time this training is done, you will know what a challenge is. You're like, Pedro, what's a challenge? Well, you're in one. You're in one. So you're observing it, but you're in one. I'm going to tell you what a challenge is. Why are they so effective? And you're going to see numerous ways you can use a challenge to start or grow any business. Any business. Why I believe a challenge is your best shot at success online. So again, if you tried webinars and failed, I understand. Webinars are very hard. VSLs, if you have tried any other thing, guys, let me see in the comments right now, how many of you have tried, how many of you have tried to launch your business online, to make money online, and it just hasn't worked for you so far? How many of you guys have tried other methods that just didn't get you anywhere? I can tell you why. It's because most methods are not simple, and they are unforgiving. You actually have to be a really talented marketer to actually get them to work. And the fact is, most of us are not great marketers when we get started. So you're going to see why I believe this challenge framework is your best chance at winning online, because I believe it's the easiest framework to start with and earn your very first dollar. So if you're on here watching this and you are still looking to earn your first dollar online, let me see. Type in the chat. Just type in first dollar, first dollar, first dollar, first dollar. Okay? And if you're here looking to earn your next $500th or the $1,000,000th or the $3,000,000th or your $100 millionth dollar, you're going to see why challenges are still being used by some of the biggest and most successful companies and brands in the world. And you're going to see why now. When? Now is the best time to take action on your very first or next challenge. So let's go. Disclaimer, guys. I am irrationally passionate entrepreneur, but you already know that. And guess what? So probably are you. And that's why you're still here. That's probably why you're still here. Okay? And I am obsessed with serving my clients and building my businesses and movements with challenges. You've seen that. You've seen that in this 5-day challenge and probably in prior challenges. Therefore, I have worked really hard, guys. I mean, really hard. I would say for sure the last 12 months, maybe 2 years, I'm not aware of any entrepreneur I know who has personally ran more challenges than me. I have been running a challenge at least every month. I have done some months, I've done 2 challenges. And that's not for 2 months, 3 months, 5 months. That's for the better part of a year and almost 2 years now. So I have worked really, really hard to what I call master both the art and the science of how to crush what we're calling now 7-figure challenges. Guys, you're going to hear from people today and over the coming days who have not just made their first dollar online, but have made their first $1 million ever with challenges. Okay? So it took me 2 years and a lot of work to learn. I'm going to start to give you some of those frameworks here right now. All right, guys, let's do it. So why challenges? Because of this picture right here. Without challenges, a financial professional living in Vacaville, California, running a very normal brick and mortar service-based business with one office and one assistant, there's no way that a brick and mortar service-based financial professional working in Northern California in a small city, in a small office with one assistant, within 18 months could ever lead and launch a movement-based business whereby over 700 plus people would want to fly in from all over the world to get together without challenges. It's not possible. It is not possible. So guys, that's why challenges. That is why challenges. That is why challenges. For again, I am irrationally passionate about challenges because I have absolutely seen them change my life. Absolutely seen them change my life. Absolutely. Right, guys? Like, I mean, it's a complete game changer. Why challenges? Why challenges? Guys, within 12 months, using challenges, we were able to establish ourselves. My other business, my other business that we run, which is a movement-based business. Within 12 months, 0 customers, 0 list. No one knew who I was. I had never done anything in this space. Never done anything in the space of faith-based or Christian entrepreneurship. 0, completely unknown. Within 12 months was the number 1 company in the space, the largest company, the largest movement-based company in the space, multiple 7 figures of revenue, and there's no other way I've done it. There's no other way to explain how that was possible. We picked up 2 additional two Comma Club awards. That's Russell Brunson there and Todd Dickerson, the co-founders of ClickFunnels. That's why challenges, guys. That's why challenges. That's why challenges. And guys, before this, like I told you, I was a financial professional working in Northern California. Now, what did I have going for me? Okay. I learned Facebook. I learned Facebook ads, and I learned how to use ClickFunnels to grow my financial practice, to grow my financial business. Okay. I think I told you guys that story earlier. Okay. And this was after about 3 years of me coming back into my financial career. As most of you guys know my backstory, I went through an incredibly difficult time as an entrepreneur. I went through an incredibly difficult time as an entrepreneur. In fact, my biggest failure, and I want you guys to hear this. I want you guys to hear the movement, the 100X movement that got birthed and launched through me, that we have stewarded faithfully in the last 2 years. The very thing I'm teaching people how to do, the very thing I'm mentoring people in, is the very thing I failed at the most. I had in 2011, 2012, I fit my company at that time failed. I failed as an entrepreneur. I failed. I ended up completely broke, close to $3 million in debt. Nothing was working right, and I had no idea how to fix it, guys. So at the age of about 35, I find myself having failed at a massive level for the first time. Up until then, my life was pretty awesome. Business-wise, things were going great, just going And now at 35, boom, epic crash and burn. Why? Because I didn't know how to actually show up powerfully in business in a way that allowed me to feel fully myself. I didn't know how to actually be fully integrated as a spiritual or faith-based entrepreneur. So I made all kinds of mistakes. I was over eager to be successful because I was still looking for approval and validation from other people. I didn't realize how broken I still was in my heart. I had these huge heart wounds for this need, this need of approval and validation that I never got from my father, who my father's an amazing guy. I love my dad. We have a close relationship now. But my dad was, you guys may have heard my story. My dad's an old school immigrant guy. He wanted me to do the best I could. He wanted me to keep trying hard. So my dad thought, well, I'm just gonna keep telling him to try harder. My dad's strategy was, if I withhold a praise, then he'll just keep trying harder. and it worked. The challenge is when you withhold praise as a father, it creates some wounds. And I didn't know the power of those wounds. I didn't know how deep those wounds were. So guys, I want you to understand this, that like before stepping in to starting to win and succeed and really prosper as an entrepreneur, I had a massive failure. And that failure is what actually prepared me to step in to the movement that we launched 2 years ago. So failure doesn't have to be final. Most of you, your biggest opportunity is to take the very thing you failed at the most. And then if you respond correctly, if you respond in wisdom, if you actually go back through the wreckage like I did, to actually do like an autopsy, be like, what happened here? And oh my goodness, did I just discover all these keys and lessons that help me learn and grow and evolve. And now I help serve people avoid the mistakes and the pitfalls. I help them avoid the very thing that caused me to fail. So your failures might actually not be a failure. It might actually be the best signpost to one of your movements or a calling on your life or a business that you can launch. Okay. So guys, I wanted to share that because I'm about to go into showing you guys some really cool things that are happening. And I just want you to know, like, I wasn't always just crushing it. I wasn't always the crush it with challenges guys. I wasn't always the guy that everybody wanted to talk to about, about winning online right now. I went through a very dark time. So if you're in a dark place right now, I'm with you. I feel for you. Just know that this too shall pass. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. I am so grateful to my family and my friends that were really checking on me because in those 3 years, it was a dark time. But I'm so grateful to my faith and then my family and friends that were just there to kind of help me get through. And so guys, I just wanted to share that with you guys that like, I know right now it's a little bit of a crazy time. It's a very crazy time, but even this too shall pass. And I believe that now, as the world is figuring out how to reopen, the level of people that are in pain, that have suffered some form of trauma, that have had some setbacks during this season, I believe you. I believe you. I believe your world needs you the most right now. And I believe this challenge framework may absolutely be the best way you can show up and serve them powerfully right now when they need you most. All right, guys. All right. Okay, cool. All right, let me get back to this. So, Pedro, why challenges? Because I believe it's an incredibly powerful marketing strategy. It's not just a tactic, it's a strategy. Okay? It's a strategy. What does that mean? That means a lot of people teach and show marketing tactics. A tactic is fine, but tactics are limited. So write that down. Tactics are fine, but limited. Strategies, overarching strategies, are way more powerful, right? Being strategic is one of the greatest advantages you can have, is looking at something strategically versus tactically. Thinking 2, 3, 4, 5 moves ahead, right? It's like the difference. A tactic's like playing checkers. Strategy is like playing chess. So that's why challenges are so powerful. And what's very unusual about challenges is even though they are incredibly powerful, they are unusually forgiving and flexible. Well, what does that mean, Pedro? What that means is usually things that are very powerful require great precision. Usually power requires precision. Write that down. Usually power requires precision. But the challenge framework, even though it's incredibly powerful, it's unusually flexible and forgiving, meaning even if you make a lot of mistakes, meaning even if you don't get things all right, guys, even if you don't have it all perfectly done, the challenge framework is so powerful that it can overcome any of your little lacks of skill, any of your little mistakes or flaws, meaning you don't have to be perfect the first time to be successful. Guess what I call that? I call that the good news. That's one of the good news of the challenge framework. Good news is you don't have to be an amazing copywriter to launch a challenge. You don't have to be an amazing first-class, world-class marketer to do a challenge. Why is that good news? Because most of us are not world-class marketers at day one. We have to grow and get better over time. But how can you grow and get better over time if you can't make any money to stay in the game? And so what's unique about this challenge framework, guys, is that not only is it going to be powerful, it's incredibly forgiving. You can make all kinds of mistakes. It's flexible. You can make shifts and pivots along the way. Most things are not like that. It's the simplest and most effective way to start any movement-based business model, or it's the simplest way I have found to generate a warm prospects. It's to take cold strangers and move them into warm prospects and to get them to engage with you. I've never found a more simpler way to turn cold prospects on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube and turn them into incredibly highly engaged, ideal prospective customers for your business. Simple. And as my good friend Eben Pagan said, Eben's an OG of marketing, he said, Pedro, your challenge model is like the virtual reality of marketing. So that's why challenges, guys. Why do them? To lead and to serve. And I'm telling you right now, your world needs you to lead and serve them now like never before. Why do a challenge? Because the challenge, these challenges have allowed me to build my email list from 0 to now almost, I think we're over 80,000 people on our email list. How? Challenges. I have never once spent $1. To my knowledge, I have not spent any money ever in the 2 years of doing challenges or running HunterX just to get email opt-ins. I have not given away any free lead magnets, any free reports. I'm not saying that's a bad idea. I'm just saying I have never spent $1 to try and just get an email address. I have put all of my ad budget, over $1.3 million now, has all been used to promote and market challenges that made us money, which means I have built an 80,000 person email list and got paid to do so. In the chat, in the comments right now, tell me how many of you would rather get paid to build an email list, or how many of you want to actually pay to build an email list? Because you're going to do one or two ways. Either you're going to pay Facebook and Instagram and YouTube money to give you leads, or you can actually get paid to build your email list when you couple it with doing well-designed challenges. So what's it going to be for you? Do you want to pay to build your email list or get paid? Let me see your answer in the comments or in the Facebook chat. Why else? Guys, some of you are like, well, Pedro, I'm not sure about my who. I don't know what niche to go in. Let me tell you the best way to test your niche. Let me tell you the best way to test your who's. Doing a challenge, guys. It's so simple. It's so easy. You can do a challenge for this who, this month, this week. Do a 5-day, 7-day challenge with, some of you guys want to work with single moms. Great. You go and do a challenge for single moms in the first week. You're like, man, oh my God, that was amazing. My soul's on fire. I love these women. I love doing this. You make an offer. They say yes. Boom, you're launched. You're going to go and you're going to hear from someone that's what happened to. Or you can actually make an offer. You can do a challenge to another niche, another who. Get in there, start working with them, and quickly realize, I'm not as passionate about this as I thought. Guys, let me help some of you. Many of you are not really as passionate about things as you think they are, because you actually have not yet rolled up your sleeves and got into the trenches to work with these people. So you're thinking you have this huge love for, the great story is one of our members, Natila. Natila has overcome Natila has overcome eating disorders, and she overcame it through a faith-based process. So she's like, Pedro, I have slayed the giant of eating disorders. I have got victory over eating disorders in my life. I'm going to go help. Because one thing I say a lot is your who, watch this, your who may be who you were before you got your breakthrough. So write that down. Write that down. Your who may be who you were before you got your breakthrough. So she heard me say that and say, well, who I was before I got my breakthrough was I used to be, I was a single woman, a single mom who was struggling with eating disorders. So she did a challenge, a 30-day challenge, which I would never recommend doing a 30-day challenge as your first one, to go serve Christian single mothers who were struggling with eating disorders. And it was so crazy because I think by day 7 or by day 10, she went live in our group and she's like, oh my God, I don't like who I was before I got my breakthrough. Like I'm not really enjoying this. So guess what? She shifted. She finished that challenge and then she shifted and she went and tested another market, another niche. And ultimately she found her field of favor. Some of you have been thinking for weeks and months and years about what you should do and who your who should be. And I'm telling you this, stop thinking about it. Just do a simple little challenge. And within literally a week, 3 days, 5 days, you can know for sure whether or not that's your lane or not. So a challenge, why challenges? You can test new niches quickly, easily. You can do one a week if you wanted to. You can launch new offers. You can launch new products. You can test like crazy. And guys, every successful entrepreneur and marketer will tell you testing is key. Test, 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 test. Well, how can you test if every time you test, you guys spend all this money and go spend 3 months making a product and then you try it and it doesn't work? It's demoralizing. But if you could test and get feedback every week, every 2 weeks, every month, now you're going to quickly go from thing to thing to thing until you find that thing that lights you up, that changes your life forever. Does that make sense, guys? All right, guys, I got to get going here because I have a special guest. Our first special guest. Man, our first special guest, guys, is here. All right, why do a challenge? You can create new products very easily. Every time you do a challenge, you can use Zoom like I do, record those videos, boom. Now you got a mini course. Now you got a program you can sell. Now you got an awesome lead magnet you can give away to build your email list. And you can grow your reach and grow your business, guys, like nothing I've ever seen before. And that's a perfect segue. Why do a challenge? Because you can grow your reach and grow your business with them like nothing I've ever seen before. And to help us talk about that, I'm going to introduce someone that you may have all heard of. He's a #1 best-selling author. He's a #1 best-selling author. New York Times, okay, New York Times #1 best-selling author. He is an innovator pioneer in this exact challenge framework model that I'm talking with you about right now. And had big vision for this challenge. He had big vision early, like most pioneers and most innovators do. He was the CEO. He was a CEO and owner of a network marketing company that was in the supplement and nutritional business. And his idea that he came up with, which is called the Body by Vi 90-Day Challenge, guys, was responsible not for 1 million in sales, not 10 million, not 100 million, but the Body by Vi 90-Day Challenge that was innovated and created by my guest, Ryan Blair, has done over $1 billion+ in sales, guys, and helped take the company Visalis to a high of $630 some odd million of revenue in a single year on the back of one marketing strategy, predominantly the 90-day Body by Vi weight loss challenge. And right now, you're going to meet who I call the $1 billion, the creator of the $1 billion challenge, Mr. Ryan Blair. Ryan, can you hear me okay, buddy?
I hear you just fine, Pedro. It's good
Are you
to
there,
hear.
my
Thank
friend?
you for having me. I'm here. Can you hear me?
All right, man. There you go, guys. There he is. All right, guys. Ryan Blair joining us from your place there in beautiful Southern California. We got to hang out a little bit. Dude, thanks for making time, man. So great to have you.
It's my privilege. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
All right, Ryan. So listen, man, we've been going for 4 days now talking about movements. You and I had an amazing conversation not too far from where you're sitting. About 10 steps that way is your table.
Yeah.
We were sitting there 2 weeks ago, and I was just picking your brain. I was like, Ryan, you've done something I can only aspire to do, which is to build a huge movement that has gone around the world multiple times. You built a huge company. And so I want to just have you share a little bit, man, from your heart, which is, how did you come up with this idea of challenges? Like why challenges? Why was that the idea? Why were you so adamant that was the answer to take a very struggling company at the time? And why challenges, and why were you so confident that was going to be the way to take ViSalence to the moon?
Well, it was the 2008 recession, right around that time. And a mentor of mine by the name of Coach Dale Brown, you might know him. He was the LSU head coach, and he was Shaquille O'Neal's mentor. That's what he's most known for, but he was the all-time winningest coach in Louisiana men's basketball history, and just a legend and a mentor of mine. And he challenged me, and he did it publicly in front of my team, which was really small at the time. The company was suffering greatly because of the recession, and I accepted the challenge. And I saw the way people engaged, and people asked me questions about the challenge. They would say, Ryan, how's that challenge that you're doing? And I saw the way, like, I'd be heading into a difficult meeting, and before the meeting started, people would ask me to catch up. They'd say, how many days are you on the challenge? And so I saw how it was conversational. I saw how I could use it to introduce what I was up to into conversations without being salesy. It's like, if I wanted to talk about what I was doing, I would tell people, hey, I'm on this challenge. Do you mind helping me out with it? And people were intrigued just by the nature. And I think it's because human nature is, a challenging thing. We are challenged to grow. We are challenged to innovate. We're challenged to overcome obstacles. That's why we're on this earth, right? And so I stumbled onto it by way of a mentor. And when I saw how viral it could be, and this was in 2009, I then took it to social media. And so we were the very first people to really commercialize a challenge on social media. And that was part of the reason why it grew so fast.
And the challenge, Ryan, was kind of interesting because you had Coach Brown speak at one of your live events in front of, I think, 600 people, right? He gets on stage and he challenged you publicly, and it was run a mile a day, right? Was it run a mile a day and then lift weights for an hour a day? Was that what it was?
It was a terrible challenge from a marketing appeal to it. So it was a 365-day challenge. We had to do it 365 consecutive days. You had to run 1 mile a day and do 1 hour worth of weights. And you had no excuses. Like, I would be on international flights. I'd have to get off the flight after no sleep and go for a run just so that way I could check the box each and every single day. But because it was a difficult challenge, I saw how engaging it was. And then, of course, when we created the Body by Vi 90-day challenge, I made sure to make it something that everybody could do, because this challenge that Coach put me up to was not something that everybody could get involved in.
Yeah. So guys, but check it out. On one hand, it's probably not super smart to from a business standpoint to have a 365-day challenge, right? That's this rigorous, because the fact is that's just not something that the masses or mass market would ever appeal to. And yeah. Ryan, when you're running a network marketing company, for the most part, direct sales, network marketing, you kind of are looking more for a mass market appeal. Yeah. So Ryan knew that length wouldn't probably work for him. But look what happened. When he said yes to that insane challenge, that was such a demanding challenge, everybody wanted to know how he was doing. Yeah. So it created, people were naturally intrigued, leaning in. Ryan, how's it going with the challenge? Ryan, how are you doing? What day are you on, Ryan? Hey, is it hard? Do you see, guys, how the fact that he said yes to this difficult challenge all of a sudden had people want to know? Ryan, who cares about you and your challenge? What is it that had people so interested in you and your challenge? Forget the fact you were a very important guy with the company, but what is it about that challenge model that had people, one, interested in someone else but themselves? Guys, we're living in a very time where most of us are very self-consumed. So why were people all of a sudden really interested in your challenge, right? And like what happened there? Like what's that dynamic all about?
Well, one of the dynamics is when you admit that you're on a challenge and that you have a challenge and that it's difficult to do, it's a humbling thing to admit that. Most people don't admit that they have, I have this difficult challenge. I'm attempting to go 365 days or 90 days or whatever it is. And so by the nature of saying, I have a challenge, will you support me in it? You give people the opportunity to support you, and they want to see you achieve it. We want to see the person climb Mount Everest. We want to see people embark on great challenges and overcome great obstacles. So it's really the spiritual nature of mankind, I would say, that really drives people to be inquisitive about the challenge that you're on, especially if you organize a challenge around doing something that's good for you and then doing something that's good for others, which as we really evolved and we took this concept of a challenge and then started evolving it, innovating on messaging and innovating on how we would recruit with it, we really found a lot of science involved in it. And just one of the things that we found is that people are compelled to help you with your challenge, right? People don't want to help you get rich, but people don't mind helping you with the challenge. If I went out there and I told everybody, Pedro, I want to make $1 billion. Will you give me a hand? They would say, no, thanks, right? I want to make $1 billion too. But instead, I have a challenge that I want to help 1 million people lose 100 million pounds. Will you help me do that? People would say, yes, I'll help you do that.
Interesting, guys. Humility.
Yeah.
Humility, which you guys have heard me talk about. Humility is a weapon. I think humility is a weapon, meaning it's a wrecking ball. It tears down walls. It allows people to connect to you. We are wired for significance. We are wired for achievement, is what I hear you saying, Ryan. And when people are humble and they're acknowledging, because guys, to like Ryan said, when you're acknowledging that you're on a challenge and you're in the middle of a challenge, you are acknowledging there is opposition. You're acknowledging this is not easy. You're saying, man, like I'm really going through some stuff right now. I'm going through a challenging time. People are already predisposed to want to lend a helping hand. How can I help you versus trying to tear you down? Wow, guys. Wow, powerful. Ryan, I know from our prior conversation, when you got the challenge from Coach Brown, and then the company was struggling, right? The company was kind of not doing so great. Talk about that for a little bit. And then when you got this challenge idea, everyone said you were crazy, right? Everyone said you were an idiot and it would never work. So talk us through, like, where was the company before the challenge? And then talk about the opposition you faced in trying to get the challenge launched.
Well, for one, people told me, oh, everybody's done challenges before. It's been tried. Everybody, there's other challenges out there. I heard a lot of people that told me that wisdom, and I just ignored it. It drove me crazy though, because the consultants that we had hired, we were on the cusp of about to go bankrupt. We were down to, I think we were down to about 9 million a year in sales because when the recession hit, we were selling a luxury multivitamin pack that was $125 a month, and people just weren't interested in that any longer. So we shifted to a challenge that involved our products, and we were really innovative in how we actually marketed. We made the challenge really the tip of our marketing arrow. The company went from $9 million a year in sales and then became the fastest growing company in the United States and the fastest on the NYSE. We were written off to zero. There were headlines in the newspaper that Visalis was written off to zero by the public company that acquired us. And then by the end of our 2012 run, we ended up being more valuable than the public company who acquired us. They ended up owing us $792.4 million at the end of the acquisition. Couldn't pay for it. And so it went from them writing us off to zero to us becoming more valuable than the company that bought us. We were doing $100 million a year in profit. Your laugh is contagious, Pedro.
Come on, guys. What are you? Guys, come on, man. Are you seeing what's going on right now? Ryan, in a recession, right? This was during a recession, right? Global financial meltdown. We're not in a global shutdown that we're coming out of, thank God, slowly, but we're emerging from a global shutdown. You launched the challenge out of after the recession, correct?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. It was, in fact, we came up with the idea in late 2008, and we implemented it in about mid 2009. I'd say we started implementing it throughout the beginning of 2009, but we launched it in the summer of 2009. When we launched it in the summer of 2009, give you an idea of how fast this thing moved, we had about 300 people in the room. By the summer of 2012, we had 18,800 people for our event where we would announce the winners of our challenges and the people who had achieved such tremendous results with our product. And so we went from 300 people to 18,000 people in the room.
In a room?
Yeah, in a room. And we had stages rolled out throughout the world and launched it in multiple countries. And still to this day, in countries all around the world, the challenge is still thriving.
So Ryan says, let's do a challenge. In 2009, we're still the recession, global financial meltdown, during a famine time, maybe much like we're in today, but different. Yeah. Everyone says, oh, guys, 2009, oh, challenges, those have been done before. They've already been done. That's already happened. This fancy consultants, expensive consultants said, don't do it. You're an idiot. It's dumb. It's been done. Ryan sticks to his guns. The company that he was running was written off to zero. And within a few short years, his division of the conglomerate, his company, which was a division of the bigger company, is worth more than the parent company.
Yeah, and all their other companies combined.
Who wants to be? Hey, who's okay being called stupid?
Yeah.
Who's okay being called stupid and ridiculed for a little bit? To have these kind of numbers, guys. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Guys, the power of challenges. I hope you're getting this, because some of you are like, guys, this works for making your first dollar online. If you're a neophyte baby entrepreneur working in your home office, your home closet, your basement of your mama's house, and it works all the way to the highest levels of publicly traded companies and everything in between. Ryan, that's amazing, man. So, dude, talk about, like, just in your words, because I'm going to define it here. What is a challenge? Like, what is it? And talk about what made the Body by Vi challenge so powerful and magic. And it went viral, man. Like, in my little suburb at the time, I just saw BMWs everywhere, these stickers everywhere, Body by Vi. I'm like, dude, what is this? Like, how do I get a free BMW, right? Like, yeah. I just saw, like, where are these cars coming from? And so talk about what was the secret sauce of what is a challenge and what made the Body by Vi 90-day challenge so special.
Yeah. Well, number one, we led with the challenge. We made that the tip of the arrow for our entire company. So we became a challenge company. Our call center representatives picked up the phone and they immediately shared what day they were on of the challenge. So they'd say, hi, my name is John, I'm on day 39 of my Body by Vi 90-day challenge. What day are you on? We integrated our incentives into the challenge. We integrated our recognition, our rewards. We measured our employees' performance by their actual personal challenges that they were facing. We became completely integrated. So that was one of the key elements to success for us. It wasn't just a marketing campaign for us. It was a way of being. And then most importantly is we, as co-founders of the company and leaders within the company, we all embraced it and we did our challenges and we woke up every single day and we got on a challenge. So it wasn't just something that we did for marketing purposes. It was something that we lived. I think that's the most important ingredient to success. It became a part of our culture. Our culture became a challenge culture. And so that competitiveness, when you're on a challenge and you want to complete the challenge, became a key driver of our business. And every individual inside the company was one of our values was to challenge others and challenge yourself. And so we were always challenging others and we're always challenging ourselves.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And so obviously you guys took it deep into the culture. Guys, listen, you already said the challenge was the tip of the spear. Yeah. It was how he went all in on the challenge to grow the company. And guys, here's what's crazy. I didn't study the case study of Visalis when I launched 100X. I was kind of just being led, one day after the day to kind of do some stuff. And literally, as you know, Ryan, I have done pretty much the same thing. Now, we're not at $630 million in revenue yet, yeah. but I have just gone all in on challenges. Like I've never run a webinar. I've never actually run a webinar. I've never run any traffic to a lead magnet. The only thing I've done, Ryan, which sounds crazy and may not even, I don't know if I'd even recommend it, but now the more you talk, I'm like, all I've done to grow our businesses is challenges. And you went all in on a publicly traded, multiple $100 million company and said, we're going to go all in on this. You faced opposition. You faced rejection. The thing goes viral. You took challenges to social. And then, so why 90 days, Ryan? Like, give us a little bit, just let's take us one level deeper, if you could, about what was so special about that challenge in terms of some of the mechanics of how you designed it.
Well, so for one, we experimented with the number and we split tested a number of different types of challenges over a period of time. The 90-day challenge works so well because we're wired to seasons. We're as human beings, especially for people in the spiritual community, we know what it's like to have seasons, right? Human beings are tied to, the 4 seasons of the year. And so 90 days is a season for people. And so having a 90-day challenge, also, it creates a habit within 90 days. If a person does something consecutively for 90 days, or at least consistently within 90 days, they can actually change. 90 days is enough time to actually change your body. And it's difficult to actually do something consecutively or consistently for 90 days. So 90 days was an important aspect of it because of those elements to it. The body, buy, vi, the word body, buy was intuitive. So if you said, I had a body, buy, vi, the only question that you would have is, what is vi? Because you'd look at the person's body. If someone, for example, lost 20 pounds and their friend said, wow, you've lost weight. How did you lose weight? They'd say body, buy, vi. And then their friend would say, what is vi? And that would just lead to them being able to share with them their challenge. The other elements so when you launch a challenge, you want to work on your messaging, obviously. You want to have a duplicatable, meaning people can duplicate your message. So that way, when they hear the message, your customers can actually share their success by duplicating the message. I'm on the Body by Vi 90-day challenge. I've lost 20 pounds. And then a few other areas of success that we had was, like I said earlier, we tied incentives. So for example, we had what was called a 3 for free program, where if you enrolled 3 people in a challenge with you, you would get your product for free. And so that was a customer-driven incentive. So that would get our customers actually sharing the challenge with their friends and family. And this was independent of our compensation plan. And so it wasn't like we were a pure network marketing company. We were really a hybrid customer acquisition company with a network marketing back end. And so our customer acquisition engine was so strong that it really drove the network marketing back end. And then we had incentives for people that helped enough people do that. Meaning I used to say, sign up for our challenge. It's been a while since I've been involved in the business. So it was join the challenge, set your goals, pick your kit, get your product for free. Next thing you know, help enough people do that, and you'll be driving a free BMW. And that was our entire compensation message. I'd walk in front of them, and then I'd just share testimonies about people that lost weight on the challenge and had a transformational experience. I'd share testimonies with people that got their product for free, and I'd share testimonies with people that were driving a free BMW.
Simple.
Yeah.
Anybody can do it.
Yep.
And simple, anybody can do it. Clear steps. Step 1 was what, Ryan? What was step 1?
Step 1, you join the challenge.
You join the challenge.
Yeah, you set your goals.
And that goal was a weight loss goal, right, Ryan?
It was either a weight loss or a fitness goal, but most people join for weight loss purposes, but it was lose 10 pounds is generally, we basically, we guide them. Like, I want to lose 10 pounds or whatever the number was, or I want to gain 10 pounds. of muscle, for example, but most people join for weight loss purposes.
Okay, so join the challenge, set a weight loss goal, 10 pounds, 20 pounds.
Pick your product kit, which were
Talk about that. Talk about that one. Because I hear people, here, Ryan, watch this. I hear people say, Pedro, challenges were good for you because you're a mentor and you sell information-based products. Yeah. I sell physical products. The challenge won't work for me. Yeah. What was your step 3 in your challenge, Ryan?
Step 3 was pick your kit. And we had a number of different products at the time. We had like, I think 20 products or something like that. And it was really tough to sell individual products because, then we're selling ingredients and we're selling individual products. But if I kitted those products and I connected those products to a goal. So for example, we had what we called the balance kit, which was like $49 and it was 3 products. We had what was called the shape kit, which was $99. We had the core kit, which was $149, if I recall, and then the transformation kit. And so we had these kits that were connected to people's goals and they would just pick their kits. And so they didn't really have to evaluate each product inside of them. They just saw the value of the products together. And it was a number of just different products. At first, we just threw products in a box and then put a kit around it and priced it. And then we made a discount. The more that you bought, the better the discount that you received. But it wasn't as deliberate as you might think. And then over time, we made sure that we were much more intentional with those kits and the products that were in the kits.
So basically, guys, understand that the challenge was designed around a result, a transformation. Yeah. Like you guys heard me talk about yesterday, the journey of transformation, right? So this challenge was a 90-day for primarily weight loss challenge. Yeah. And so Ryan, his company sold supplements, sold nutritional products, protein powders and nutritional products. So obviously to support the weight loss goal, he coupled it with his physical products. Yeah. So Ryan, people tell me like, oh, challenges only work for info. I'm like, are you kidding me? I think challenges, they crush for info. I think they're even more powerful with physical products. And you guys had over $1 billion in sales, way more of physical products. And I hear network marketers sometimes saying, oh, like a challenge won't work for me. I'm in network marketing. Yeah. What would you say to that?
Just everybody has an opinion and you have to just know. And one of the things that came to me when you're just speaking, Pedro, and is that when you're on a challenge, you're speaking from the heart. When you're selling a product, you're speaking from the head, right? Like if I'm trying to sell you the ingredients of a product and I'm telling you it has CoQ10 and this amount of omega-3s and omega-6s, you're just doing, you're crunching the numbers with your head and you're trying to ask yourself, is this the right price or should I really be taking this? But if I'm talking to you about a challenge, I'm saying, join me on this challenge and then pick your products to support you in that. It completely bypasses the filter in your head and goes straight to your heart. And that's the power of the challenge. And when you're speaking from the heart, who cares who's speaking from the head? There's so many people that are going to speak from their head and say, that doesn't work. They're going to say, everybody's already done it. I'm in network marketing. The head speaks, and when the head speaks, it gives you excuses. And so when you're speaking from your heart, you can overpower those people that are speaking from the head. And that's really what a challenge allows you to do.
Wow. Guys, come on. The challenge puts you in a frame to speak from your heart, which means you will stand out because everybody else is trying to talk logically and through the head. And the mind is just there to rationalize and create some little bit of logic to rationalize the emotional pull happening in our heart. Yeah. Ryan, that was solid gold, man. Well, listen, buddy, I know you got a lot going on today. I want to let you get on with your day, dude. Thank you for coming on, man. But one last encouragement. This was the Movement Maker Challenge, Day 4. We have over 24,000 people that opted in to take this challenge. The Facebook group is well over, 12, 13,000 by now. I know you are a man who is very committed and passionate to movement-based businesses, to movement marketing. And that's where the challenge really so one is, before we let you go, man, just share with me a little bit of kind of like the power, how you see movement, like to you, like how do you define a movement? And then just encourage people that are, maybe they're just brand new, like their movement, their business, their idea is a small acorn, a tiny seed in their heart, in their mind. And if you could just like, what would you say to someone who is maybe doubting the value of what they have to share, doubting if a movement could really be inside of them, maybe nervous about doing their first challenge? Like, just speak to like just how you define a movement and the power of this challenge framework to take something very small and grow it as far as it can go. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, well, my definition of a movement is anything that you'll take a stand for. And so if you're willing to take a stand for it, and there's other people willing to take a stand with you, you have a movement on your hands. And so that's just the key. Just realize that you're taking a stand for something, and never forget that. Each and every single day, focus on your customer or the person that you're serving. Who are you taking a stand for? And if you do that, and then you get enough people aligned with you in that stance, in that message, you're going to have a movement on your hands. Movement, the world needs more movements that are doing good out there. And so never underestimate your power to do good. You know, we are all on this journey to create change on this planet. And so the more that you change, the more that you can help others. And so you might feel like right now you're in no position to start a movement, but I'm going to tell you, now is when you should start a movement. When you're feeling a little rough, when you're unsure of where you're at entrepreneurially, like if you take a stand and wake up every single day and saying, I'm taking a stand for this customer that I'm serving. I'm taking a stand for this group of people that I'm going to impact. You will get traction, and you will get people behind you. And each and every single day, just wake up and do the work. You know, we don't know what's going to hit us. We don't know the type of challenges we're going to receive because of the economy and because of the pandemic. But we know if we wake up every single day and take a stand, we're going to unleash a spiritual energy within us and all around us that's going to guide us and going to help us get the job done. And that's what I'm all about in the movements that I've created. It's more than just companies, they're causes. And when you take a stand for a cause you believe in, you separate yourself from everybody else out there. And you just have to then wake up each and every single day and remind yourself of why you woke up, and be so grateful that your contract was renewed so you could take that stand that you were committed to doing.
Awesome, man. Bro, I love you so much, man. It's been so cool getting to just connect, and I know we're becoming fast friends, and I feel like I'm, one of those guys I feel like I've known forever, because we just have we're just kind of wired the same way, man. I can't wait to do stuff and do more stuff with you and help support you and what you're up to. And dude, thank you for what you shared, man. Guys, I want you to understand that no one's self-made. No one's self-made. The reason why Pedro gets to be the challenge guy in 2020, and the reason why I've been able to launch my movement, find my people, find my purpose, the reason why I get to enjoy this amazing life I get to live every day, which is I've never felt more alive, Ryan. I've never felt more on purpose. I've never had more meaning to the money I get to earn in my businesses. I've never had more connection with God. I've never felt more fulfilled, is because you took a stand to stick to your guns and launch a challenge when everyone told you were an idiot. Yeah. And because of what you did 11 years ago, the whole world, the whole marketing world, business world took notice, and challenges have really been established as a legitimate way to grow businesses, because you took a stand 11 years ago. And because you did that, I got a chance to connect myself into that, and be able to kind of add my little secret sauce, add my small contribution, if you will, to the challenge, strategy concept. And bro, I just wanted to publicly thank you and honor you for your contribution to the world of entrepreneurship and marketing. A true innovator, a true pioneer, and as best as I know, the only guy to do $1 billion in sales with the challenge. So, bro, I honor you, man. You're amazing. Yeah, I just thank you so much for being here.
God bless you, brother. I appreciate the time, and it was a pleasure, and I'll talk to you very soon.
Awesome, guys. Guys, give it up, man, for Ryan Blair. Come on, let's leave some hearts. Guys, I want to see in the chat your biggest takeaways from what Ryan just said. Guys, how often is it that you get mentored and have someone who has built then over $1 billion in sales on the back of a challenge, speak to you from the heart, and share with you literally gold bomb after gold bomb, guys. You guys see why do you guys see why I'm sold out for challenges, guys? Do you see why I'm sold out? You see why I'm sold out, guys? There's nothing a challenge can't do. A brand new entrepreneur can make your first 1,000. An experienced entrepreneur can make your first million. There's probably other people who know more than nutrition and weight loss than Ryan Blair. There are probably other weight loss products that may have been even a little bit better than the products that they were selling. I'm sure they were great products, but were they the best products? I mean, who knows? Probably not, because there's always a better product the very next day. So Ryan was not the foremost leading expert in weight loss. Their products were probably not the world's greatest, best ever product in the whole entire world. I'm sure they weren't the cheapest products. So how does a man who's not a weight loss expert, who doesn't maybe have the best product in the world and not have the cheapest product in the world, become the number one fastest growing company in the world and do over $1 billion in sales? The power of a challenge. The power of a challenge, guys. The power of a challenge. So guys, let me give you a little bit of framework. Let me give you guys a little bit of framework here. A little bit of framework. Okay, let me come back over here. And let me help you guys think about the challenge that you could be setting up to do in the next 10, 30, 45 days or less. How many of you guys right now are convinced? Let me see in the comments. Let me see in the comments and right here in the chat. We got a bunch of people over here in the, oh man, the chat. What's happening in the chat right now? Where's the chat? Oh my God, we have almost 800 comments in the chat. Whoops. All right, guys, how many of you guys are now thoroughly persuaded that this challenge model is way more powerful than you thought and you are in? How many of you guys are in? You are going to run a challenge in the next 30 days, 45 days, 2 months or less. You're like, I'm going to run a challenge. I'm going to figure this thing out. Where are you guys at? Okay. All right. So guys, if you want to lead and serve powerfully right now, then I believe a challenge will allow you to lead and serve and advance your business now like maybe never before. Ryan launched his challenge at the deepest part of a recession when the global financial world was melting down. Does that sound a little bit similar to what we have now? Record unemployment right now. Industries completely decimated right now. Business decimated right now. What a coincidence. Could this be a coincidence that Mr. Ryan Blair launches a challenge 11 years ago during a time much like this where where things were not great? I want to know who has the next $1 billion challenge, because there's almost 2,000 people right now watching this and tens of thousands of watch a replay. Who's got the next $1 billion challenge idea? Because one of you have it. One of you have it. My question is this: will you do it? I know this. One of you have at least $1 billion challenge idea, but will you take a stand? Will you take action? Will you move forward like Ryan Blair did? It takes a lot of guts to go against fancy, expensive, high-paid consultants when they're like, no, don't do it. It's stupid. It won't work. Imagine the guts it takes to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe millions of dollars, hiring fancy marketing and strategic consulting firms. The best consulting firms, you paid them money for their advice, and now you override them and you stick to your gut and you say, no, we're doing a challenge. So I just want to know this: will you stick to your guns? Before you can take a stand for somebody else, you must take a stand for you. You must take a stand for you and your family, you and your business, you and your life first. All right, guys, let's go. Come on. Now, Let me tell you guys what a challenge is. Okay, let me give you guys a few little details here about how you set these things up. A challenge is time bound. Okay, Ryan's challenge, the 90-day body by body challenge, and you've seen me do 5-day challenges. So I believe your challenge should be no less than 5 days and no more than 90 days. Okay, now 90 days, guys, my water is a long time. I would probably not recommend any challenge over 30 days unless you absolutely need that time to get the result. So as a general rule of thumb, I recommend don't make challenges longer than they have to be to get the promised outcome, the deliverable of what that challenge is all about. Okay, guys? Why do challenges work? And they work best when you have one primary outcome. The Body by Body was a 90-day weight loss challenge. What's the goal? Weight loss. Weight loss. Losing weight. I want to lose 10 pounds on the Body by Body challenge. I want to lose 20 pounds on the Body by Body challenge. So guess what, guys? You have a goal. You have an outcome. One outcome. It's lose 10 pounds. It's lose 20 pounds. It's focused. It's focused. It's focused. It's focused. Okay? What else? A challenge works, guys, because you get the people you want to serve to commit and agree to take action with you from the very beginning. And at the end of the day, guys, information is not power. Information is potential power. Information, even revelation, is not power. The only way to get transformation is from the application. So write that down. Write that down. The only way to get transformation is from application. And so when you do a challenge, you are getting the people that you love, the people that you serve, the people that you're taking a stand for. You are getting them to take a stand for themselves as well. Why challenges? A good challenge makes people take a stand for themselves first before they start. You're like, hey, it's called a challenge for a reason. You're not here just to learn. How many of you guys heard me say that? How many of you guys heard me say that? You're not here just to learn. You're here to learn and to take action. You're here to be live every day, to watch the replays, to do your assignment, to go live. When you design your challenge well, you're getting people to take a stand for themselves, to not just be passive listeners, but to have them cooperate in their own rescue, have them cooperate and become the hero in their story, to have them actually take action and apply so that transformation can happen. That's a well-designed challenge. Will get people to doing that, guys. Are you seeing that? And a challenge should be designed around daily micro wins. Having people do things daily that get them success, that get them momentum, that get them in the process. Guys, most people, maybe some of you, if we're being honest, have got excited, got fired up, and then just didn't take action. How many of you guys have been to a seminar or a workshop and you go to a live event, you get all fired up, you're all excited, and then you get home and you're like, oh, I'm back home. None of my friends are here. All the loud music is gone. And now you're left kind of just having to start from zero. The challenge works, guys. When you design a challenge well, it's because you get people moving, taking action with you. They begin to see the progress they're making. You're helping them actually build confidence in themselves. How many of you guys have heard me say over and over and over, my biggest challenge serving people, my biggest challenge as a movement-based leader, as a mentor, my biggest challenge as someone who wants to serve people and help them transform their lives is getting people to believe in themselves. Most people, the people that you are going to want to serve and help, if they're being honest, have a measure of hopelessness. They have tried things before and failed at them. And they have invested in things before and didn't take action. And now you come along to actually help them get that same result and breakthrough they've been wanting to get for a long time. But they have this history, they have this past of disappointment. And now your job as a leader, as a movement maker, as someone who cares about transformation, not just dollars. If you care about transformation and actually getting people to that promised land, to that outcome, we must care. It must matter to us that they engage and take action and apply. The challenge framework, a well-designed challenge, will get people into action daily because you get to coach them and lead them, not just teach them. When you do a challenge, the people that you're serving give you permission to coach. Have you guys seen me coach? Haven't you guys seen me coach here? I've been able to coach, lead, call you guys up. Hey, encourage you to take action. Been able to push you guys a little bit. Go live, do your assignment. Come on, let's go. See, I could not do that without your permission. And some of you have been very frustrated because you're trying to coach and lead people who have not yet given you permission to serve them and show up in their life that way. But the challenge framework, I believe, puts you in the ideal position to serve, to lead, and make impact. Are you guys seeing this? How many guys are seeing this? How many guys understand what I'm saying? How many guys can feel the energy of a challenge is way different than the energy and the framework of just listening to content and training? How many guys are getting this? I want to see who's getting this right now. How many guys are beginning to see a little bit why challenges are going to be the number one way for you to start, grow, scale any business, any niche, anywhere, guys? How many guys are seeing this? And you can get very hyper-focused and targeted on who? Your who. One of the most powerful aspects of our challenge model that you're going to have a chance to learn from me and be mentored from me. Guys, in a few minutes, I'm going to invite you guys in. And in a few minutes, for the first time ever, I'm going to publicly invite you to join me and thousands of others to stepping into learning movement-based marketing, movement marketing. And for the first time publicly, I'm going to give you an opportunity to join me, be mentored by me, and learn exactly how we've been able to do dozens of challenges. To do our very first challenge, you're going to see that started with about a couple hundred people, to our most recent challenge that had 20,000 people. For the first time ever, guys, in a few minutes, you're going to have a chance to join me, be mentored by me, and learn the exact frameworks, exact step-by-step process for how we are able to crush it with challenges and how we're going to be able to help you crush it with your challenge so you can have massive success and serve people at a highest level, guys. That's coming. That's coming, guys. That's coming. That's coming. All right. Now, what else do I got here for you guys? All right. Okay. I have Holly. How are we doing? How are we doing with time, Holly? I want to make sure I'm good on time. Our next guest?
Our next guest is up in about 10 minutes. I know that we have a couple of other guests as well.
Awesome. Okay, awesome. All right, let's do this. Let's bring on Desiree. Guys, okay. I want you guys to hear from someone. You guys are like, okay, Pedro, Ryan Blair. Ryan Blair's amazing, but he was like a fancy CEO of a company like that, you know. So I want you guys to hear from someone that I actually just met. I just met Desiree. Like, she's known me for a little bit, but I just met Desiree. Desiree, are you there? Can you can you unmute your camera?
Yes, thank you.
All right.
And let's see your beautiful face.
Oh no, right? Let me see. Settings. Oh, let's see.
All right, guys, let's get Desiree to get her camera going, Hall. So guys, I met Desiree 2 days